Hey Printusters, welcome back. We got a dope shop tour today. We've got Mr. Rich Santo, CEO of
Culture Studio.
Culture Studio.
Actually, I could do a little upgrade on the sign over there.
We're in beautiful Chicago, although it's a little chilly here today. I didn't know you hated the cold so much, by the way.
I hate the cold. Yeah, I'm out of here. I'm out of here quick.
You guys got to watch Rich's podcast that we did with him and Shirt Show's interview that they did with him too. We'll put the links down in the description below, but let's get started.
Yeah, let's go. Let's come on inside. Yeah, I mean, I certainly would prefer to be in Daytona right now. You know, I think it's like 90 degrees over this 34 degrees, but hey, you know, I think you're gonna like this one. You know, the first thing I can show you guys here is it says, "Welcome to Culture Land." And if anybody's familiar with like music merch from say the 70s or 80s, there was a company called Winterland that basically made Rolling Stones, Aerosmith, the Beatles, New Kids on the Block, everything like that. And when we entered the industry, there were people like Frankie V who came from Winterland, who was basically telling us like, this is what you have to do. This is how we did it at Winterland. This is how things happened at Winterland. Like everything was about Winterland. So when we got this facility in 2014, we put that up and we invited them here. And he was like, so happy to see that we did this tribute to them. So,
wow.
You know, basically that's where this comes from. You know, Culture Land is you know, just like a tribute to what they did in Winterland. And hopefully we passed and taking the torch from them and carrying on the things that they created. Even stuff like how we do things, how SEPs are done, all that is inspired by Winterland.
Sweet, that's super cool. And like just the
here.
high level outline, I haven't seen too much, but obviously this is a big front area. You know, number of people, obviously you talk about the Daytona location, Chicago location, presses, all that stuff.
Yeah, this one's 50,000 square feet. I wanna say there's about 140 team members here, 3 shifts, 7 days a week. So Carlos says it's like 7-Eleven, you just can't get a Slurpee, but yeah, this facility itself is only shut down between 2 and 4 a.m. We do maintenance and come right back at it.
So you're 24/7.
24/7, you're gonna see that, you know, it's kind of like an ocean here. Because this shop is a little bit smaller, you know, that you're gonna just see stuff moving all over the place.
Cool.
And something's kind of cool that I like to do is you can fast forward some of the security camera data and you could see it is like an ocean. It's like it all comes in and then you see everything start to go back out afterwards. So, you know, maybe
crazy turnaround time.
Send you some stuff.
And Culture Studio, you guys focus mainly on what industries?
Yeah, it's you know, solely music and entertainment.
Got it.
So, you know, everything that we're doing is licensed products that we're working directly with the license holder. So, you know, if we have to stop or blur some stuff out, you know, it's very important that that stuff doesn't get out early because we're, you know, manufacturing products that are going to go out on tour. And if those are seen beforehand, then people could be reselling, and reselling stuff on the internet and so forth. So
gotcha.
Yeah, everything that you're going to see here is a licensed good.
Cool. All right, let's check it out.
I'm happy that you came here now because we're tearing the entire office apart.
Like physically or like just busy wise? Oh,
no,
okay.
Physically. We're gonna start Carla's office. You missed the engineer's office. This is Oscar, our CTO's office. Of
What's
course,
up, Oscar?
nice and dark.
Yeah, dark, got the vertical monitor. I know it well.
So heading this way, these are part of our sales team. Marketing is over here, and you can kind of see, you know, some of these pictures and images are all masters that we've been a part of. So you can see the date that we made that product, what the color count was.
That's cool.
Yeah, and so we're just, you know, have done the same exact look in Daytona. So, you know, this one, when clients go to visit out there, that's like very comfortable to them. It's like, oh yeah, this, you know, this feels normal. Feels like Culture Studio.
Yeah, that's such a cool trophy room in a way.
Yeah. And this is Michelle. She leads our marketing team.
What's
Pretty
up,
much
Michelle?
anything you see on the internet that comes from us, Michelle is behind it. So she's a talent.
Sweet.
I'll take you over. I think somebody may be using the conference room, but we can show. We've been building this podcast studio now for like maybe 3 or 4 months. You know,
I am so jealous. This is incredible.
I have so much humble nature to approaching this. Like anybody that has figured this out, like I give you like all the credit in the world. I mean, to get the lights correct and you know, the focus on the cameras and the lighting behind people, and then the audio is wrong and so forth. So if you have figured this out, if you do this, then you are a rock star. So we're amateurs here, but Michelle has been doing some cool stuff, and you know, the goal for us is just to produce content that helps our clientele out.
That's cool. And yeah, merchandising stuff I've seen on your YouTube channel.
Yep.
You can find a Culture Studio on YouTube.
Yeah, it's just like tips, tricks, you know, stuff that we're seeing, trends, you know, anything that, you know, will deliver value, you know, to them, so that, you know, ultimately they're out there, you know, making better products, selling more, impressing their clients.
And do you find a lot of your clients come in to the office? I mean, obviously there's a meeting happening over here, but
like I think Chicago offers is that like such a mecca.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's so many different venues here. Lollapalooza is held here.
So they'll swing through, see you, or you'll see them.
They're always coming through. You know, I think, you know, being able to see the product, you know, and like have like some level of like, oh, this really is what goes into making this.
Right.
You know, t-shirts just don't fall out of the air from China.
Right.
Like a lot goes into this.
As much as things maybe thought that way.
Maybe thought that way. But you know, like they can get a glimpse and then have a little more found respect for like the trade a little bit.
So obviously music industry, touring, all that stuff. What's the craziest turnaround job you've had that you remember?
I mean, we do a lot of same day. You know,
really? Okay, so that's the ocean you're talking about.
Yeah,
we
receive a purchase order at 10 o'clock in the morning and it goes out by second shift that same day. That's not the norm. That's not what we, you know, love to do. There's a lot of room for error when it comes to that. But yeah, I mean, we've turned stuff around literally same day at scale. I mean, we're not talking about an order for 100 pieces. Nobody does 100. We're talking tens of thousands of units in one single day. Oftentimes having to be done in both of our factories. So
holy cow.
It's fast. I don't recommend it.
Yeah, not pitching this, but we can make it happen.
I don't recommend it. Finance, account management, cool wall with stuff that we've done.
Hello.
Bringing on to creative. This is kind of a cool piece, you know, like the culture of our organization is very systematic. You know, we try to build as many great systems as we possibly can, so that the team feels comfortable. You know, they don't have to like think through every single print. How are we going to do this? We build systems out. So when a piece of artwork comes in, we can put it into a system. It works well, and then we can cognitively think the rest of the way through.
When as a business did you start building those systems?
I mean, I think we flew by the seat of our pants for, you know, quite some time, but,
sure.
You know, I would say like when we moved in here, you know, it's in 2014, 50,000 square feet, you needed some systems. So like anything that, when you can't go like this and tackle the problem, that's when systems.
You
really
mean people-wise?
Like
to
space,
grab everybody.
People, space, yeah. You know, like if you're in, you know, a shop and you can see the press or you can see each other, then, you know, it's a lot less required to have perfect systems. But you know, when you start to span that out and even go into multiple states, you really have to have things organized. Like think like a franchise theory.
Got it.
That it has to be done. You have to make the burgers the same exact way. Otherwise, you know, the quality will suffer dramatically. This whole team is creative. Justin and his team are doing conceptual, SEPs, you name it, and then Tyler and Sebastian and his squad are taking high-res photo approvals of pretty much everything.
Oh, wow.
Catalog those high-res photo approvals inside of our platform for perfect repeatability every single time.
Wait, so everything that goes through pre-press, you can see what happening right now,
Yep.
comes out, goes to the like photo
Yep.
cube,
and we'll
And a photo.
high-res photo it and catalog every single one of them.
And that's for your purpose or approvals or both?
Both. I mean, we pretty much everything we're doing is a program. So it's going to run either through the country or multiple, orders along the way. So that's why it's really important that we understand, exactly how this was done, and this is how it looks. And physical samples, you're going to see some physical samples out there, but somehow, some way, they have legs. Like at least a photo doesn't have legs; it can't walk away. So that's why we lean heavily on photos.
And do the presses stop when you're waiting for that approval, or do you do this on a?
We have a pretty sizable R&D department, so these are, you'll see presses dedicated only to sampling.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean, at times we have, presses that are held up, and we're trying to say, hey, let's get this approved. Let's get this approved. We need to move because it has to, hit UPS, shipment today.
So the thought is to do it on a sampling press, then you move it to a production press?
Yep.
Got it.
Yep. So, it's Tyler's team.
Thanks, Tyler's team.
Yeah. Everything pretty much in this dark room is automated. So you see we're doing emulsion, coating, automated, drying in cabinets, direct to screen, automated, and the real, I think, special secret sauce starts to come, that all of this stuff looks exactly the same in Daytona, just on a grander scale. So everything that you're seeing is, we make exact mirrors of everything.
Wow.
So if we produce something here in Chicago, we can move it over to Daytona with just one swoop, and that order would move over. They would get the art files, they would get the garments, they would get all the colors and Pantones, and we could go ahead and produce that order in the exact same format.
Interesting.
Same mesh, same everything out there.
Same screens, same presses.
Same screens, same ink mixing system, same everything.
Wow. That's incredible. And are some of these pieces of equipment backups, or are they all being used?
They're all being used, and this room also goes 3 shifts. So you could see that this is the volume of screens that they're prepping only for this shift. And then after this shift, the next set will go in for shift 2, and on and on. So everything that they're doing here is for shift 2 today.
Holy cow. What's, by the way, this room, Sahara? The back.
Another drying cabinet.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, everything, commercial grade. You say, like, it's got to really be able to get beaten up, nonstop. It's like the Slurpee machine never shuts off. It just keeps going and going. The only thing that really shuts off are the dryers. The cool down the dryers, clean them every single night, and then light them back up 2 hours later.
How many screens per day would you say, would you guesstimate are being made?
I really think that's a Joey question. He would be able to nail that way better than us, but
all right, we'll ask him.
A lot. Bruce, I'm happy you made it into our washout booth. This certainly is like the dirty side, one would say, of the business. But as you can see, everything is automated. We are recycling water in each one of these machines. We are also recycling chemicals. So everything from, completely washing out the screens and washing out the emulsion to, doing the exposure. On new screens that are coming through, everything is running through this automation line to try to be as eco-friendly as possible. So we start off with some embroidery. We have embroidery at all locations as well, so we have the ability to easily flip back and forth.
What was your thoughts on bringing this in-house versus using a partner?
We actually had triple the amount of heads in this location, but now have started to span them out. Like in this repeatability era that we're going through now, we rather have more of them spread out and then add along the way than have all of them in one place and then, we want to produce this in Florida or so forth. So, that's what we've started to do, is get all newer machinery and then put them both locations.
Got it.
So instead, we used to have more than triple the amount here. Now we've just branched them out in both locations.
Got it. And do these go through the approvals too here?
Yep.
Photo and everything?
Yep.
Wow.
Take you right down the lane here. Just to see a row of presses. First one is an oval hybrid.
Oval, digital squeegee.
Yep.
How many presses in this big old room?
You know, there's so many different ancillary smaller presses, but there's about 12 big autos, a bunch of smaller ones. We'll see tagging machines. We'll see everything else from there.
Wow.
So,
okay. So digital squeegee, what are your thoughts? How's it been going?
I think there's a place in the market for everything,
Yeah.
you know, and you know, it does stuff cheaper than a digital. You'll see some digital stuff back there that we're piloting. So you could do it at scale, you could do higher quantities, but it's definitely not plug it in and use it,
Got
you
it.
know, in any way, shape, or form. I think, you know, it's easy to say like, oh yeah, it's a digital machine, just, you know, strap it on and hit print. It's definitely not that. It takes, we're 3 years in and I think still trying to nail it. But we've done some really beautiful prints, and like when we can't get something right at screen print, we'll move it over there and we could usually get it right.
Oh, that's cool.
Especially
so you're right.
if
So that's the
flesh
space.
tones,
Okay.
yeah. Full color, photorealistic images and stuff. That's where, if you can't do it anywhere else, that'll nail it.
Got it. And it's hard to sort of see from the camera a little bit, but the layout of the room, do you try to do pods of 2 or 3, or how's everything organized?
Yeah, the big ones are in pods of 2, and then you'll see some of the smaller ones get in pods of 3. Actually, Daytona, because there's so much space, is all 3 pods.
Got it.
You're gonna have to come and do that one next.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is Joey's command center over here.
On the phones, taking pictures, checking prints.
Yeah, checking pictures, doing prints. You know, we have I would say, super rigorous QC process because the timing is so long. It's, again, like first shift is easy. You have all the pros, you know, everybody's here. But when you go on to second and third shift, you have to ensure that we're QCing every single product. And so we're taking them off randomly across the board, and then we have strategic checks, photoing them again at the end of the dryer, and then cataloging them in our platform again. So when there's an issue, if there's a return, we don't have to be like, oh, can you send that back? We already know how it looks. We already know who did it, when we did it. And we try to make it more about like, there's not a blame game. Like, this is what happened, and let's try to find the cause of this and train and fix on to the next one.
Got it.
Rather than like having to like go through this process of like diagnosing. Okay, who is it? Who did it? We already know that info, and we have that info on every job. We know it. So hey, this is what happened. Train, start over, go on to the next one. I think makes a more trusting culture rather than constantly trying to go and figure out. You know, the whole process of that causes people to be defensive. So you know, that's kind of
cool.
QC
One thing I noticed too is this floors, the
there's
ceiling. It's beautifully well lit in here.
There are 3 people in maintenance on first shift, and then they taper off. That's maintenance only for presses. And then there's 2 people in cleaning out here and 1 in the office on first shift. So
Every day.
It's a small army. And you know, that team is got the most important thankless job on the planet.
Yeah.
You know, like, I mean, like you see like shop floor, you know, like it is very hard, and especially in this, it's a wet ink that we're working with, you know, like it's hard to keep it clean. And so this team, I thank them every single day. Every time I come in, I get to see one of them. I'm like, they get hugs every time I see them. So I know it ain't easy. Yeah, they just keep going and going and going. You know, each press is very specifically Place, there's smaller stuff. You see that sleeve boards on the smaller ones? There's another one over there, sleeve boards.
And do you keep that, or?
Yeah, we don't, almost no press here swaps pallets. Everything is on and exactly does what it does.
Just less downtime, ready to go?
Less downtime, ready to go.
So you'd rather have another press essentially set up?
We would, yeah. There's an army of air units, of compressors back there. And actually, Daytona, we decided we're gonna start slow and then add on along the way. And a brand new air compressor shot the rod straight out of the like holding tank. And so we're like, well, let's do the Chicago way. And like there's 6 of them back there. You know, like
wow.
Just go all out when it comes to compressors or anything that would cause complete downtime.
Yeah.
We go all out.
And so I noticed you have these plastic films. What's the thought here?
Yeah, everything gets covered. Everything that we're making that you see is going to go to a retailer or to a fan directly. And so cleanliness and keeping the product clean is like the utmost important. I mean, you can see, you know, look at our team member here just working out, making it look pretty. Yeah. So, you know,
wow.
That I would say for Joey, that sits at the top. If we have a beautiful, cleanly, you know, organized, clean environment, then we can require people to do great work. If you provide people with an unorganized, dirty environment, then how could you require them to do great work?
I like that. Let's go on. This seems like R&D section over here.
Yep, you're looking at R&D, sampling, you know, every kind of different press, different colors.
Can we walk through here?
Oh yeah. We inside tag almost everything. We actually doubled the amount in Daytona, but you know, these run nonstop all day, every single day.
Rapid tag versus Copperhead. Trying them both or switching or?
Trying them both, they do something different, you know, like the M&R one, you know, runs a little bit quicker and harder, like we can really beat it up. And, you know, these ones are super easy to use. So you see like lots of different machinery always, so that we don't have to like, pause and change this out.
Got it.
Yeah, everything is very like strategically placed so that it runs and moves all day. We have a digital division that we're piloting, and have been for quite some time. You know, we do have faith in digital, and we're going to continue to invest in like the process of digital.
So how do you think about a job here versus
so same thing. We're going to have everything the same down there. So, you know, if a tour moves over to Daytona, we move that right over. Same machines, same print, same ink, same everything.
But is this like a super high color count type work, or like, you know, obviously you're doing high volume work.
Hello.
How does digital play into that? This is an
avalanche. This would be lower quantity, high color.
Got it.
And, you know, sometimes we'll try to do like, if somebody wants a sample, but it doesn't have to be perfect. Like, I just want to see how this is going to execute. Then we could do it digitally and then move it over to screen print.
Got it.
There'll be, you know, you'll never match that. I think it's foolish. It's such a different process. So it's definitely going to be like different, but if you just want to say, how is this going to execute, then this is a good way to look at it. And then we could go screen print when we do 10,000 or 2,000, whatever.
Right. Cool. Wait, explain this. I haven't seen this Prerunner before.
Yeah, this is a single head sample machine. It's the M&R Prerunner. Now, we do a lot of samples on it. So what you would do is you would print, take the screen off, print the next color, take the screen off, print the next color. It's a small footprint that you could do sampling with.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it has its place. I would say you probably don't want to do a 12 color that way. But if it's a couple colors, 2, 3 colors, you get to simulate an auto head, where you couldn't do that if you did it, which actually I think Joey just has that for his own personal sake. That's our first original manual press from 2008.
For historical purposes.
So I think it might be just nostalgia for him.
This is a cool little squeegee holder too you guys built.
Yeah. Squeegee tree.
Squeegeetree.com. You're gonna have to grab that before this goes live.
Right.
And everything's labeled. Dryer 5, press 9, press 2.
These fulfillment lines run, again, on 3 shifts. So everything that's going direct to retail. And we're doing polybag, folding, SKU sticker, size strip, hang tags, you name it, is happening in this retail line.
Wow. So you've got 3, 4?
Yeah, we've got 3 finishing lines here in Chicago and another 3 in Daytona. Again, the exact same machines. And so that, very helpful for Jose, for example, when he goes down there, he could pick up and train the team really fast. He's not trying to figure out a brand new press or a brand new machine and be like, oh, how does this work? It's like very familiar to them. So that's really the
140 or so people. How do you do training? Is there a team, like a people team that just manages that?
Yeah, we have a committed trainer in pretty much every single department. And they follow like an operating manual that we've built. And, it's not necessarily rocket science, but it is manufacturing. And, it does take some level of like training and shadowing and also cross training and moving around and moving up. So somebody would start in, a new position, just, catching or, even doing some transfer work or something like that, learn that skill and then move on. And then learn that next skill and then move on. And that's kind of like the career development path. It's just learning new skills.
Is there like a team lead for each group, and that's the person that's responsible for training them?
Yeah. There's a committed trainer and then a team lead. Then you would move up into supervisors, supervising process. Then you'd move up to management, managing the people. And then from there you move into a leadership role. So career path in manufacturing. Very classic. Like you met Joe, came from Midas. Like we very much stick that way. Sometimes I think we could get too like creative with roles and lose like just structure that is required. And lateral structure. We don't work in like a top-down management style. We work in a very lateral. Each team is accountable for their own teams. They have coaches and people that lead them and help, but it's not like, oh, we need a decision to make and that's got to go to this person to go to that person and step up. They independently are all making decisions as teams.
Got it.
So it's a little bit unique from that classic, supervisor management leadership, thought process, but breaking them down and, working very laterally.
Got it.
Rather than, top down, basically.
Got it.
Yeah, again.
And wait, this side too, Rich, is this?
Yeah, we're doing all types of cropping, transfers, specialties. We have 3 sewing machines that are always running, hang tags, wovens, anything that has to be retail ready that, hang up on a rack or sit in a shelf, we do it. So.
And do you keep a lot of this in stock? Some of it, like more common stuff?
Yeah, like
I see a lot of black. Maybe it's just black in the kept here.
There's definitely over 500,000 garments, but they're all WIP. We inventory all the main ones. Like lots of Gildan products, Bella Canvas products. So we'll have sizable inventory, but we're not necessarily sitting them on a shelf and waiting. We at least have projections for those. So from our perspective, everything's a WIP. Everything's a work in progress.
There's a lot. I mean, just like panning around
even
here,
more so,
you can see everything
Daytona
in the
has
back
like 34,000 square feet of inventory, just racking. and we've moved most of it down there. So, but this one moves, you know, just as fast and well. So Nick and his team are doing single distribution. So pick, pack, and then this is stuff that goes USPS directly to the customer.
Got it.
You know, like we have a concept of speed to market where, you know, our goal is to empower the client to get those orders, stack them up as quick as they can, release a purchase order to us, manufacture the product, and it goes right into the package.
So this is going direct to consumer now.
Correct. Yep.
And is this stocked or no? This is kind of made to order.
Yeah, most of it.
This is batched.
You see some, you know, there's some level of like with 3PL services where we're housing some inventory, but you know, I would say like our secret sauce is the speed to market. Pre-sell 1,000 units, produce them as fast as humanly possible, get them into this department, print out all the labels, scan the product, print the labels, and get them right out to the customer. And if we could do that in 5 days, like under a week, then we did it fast.
Wow.
That was like Amazon-esque if we could do that.
Right.
And that limits inventory and so forth. This is probably the most thankless thing here.
What? What is this thing?
Pallet wrapper, man. You know, like it's these like creature comforts that people like forget about. But when we did open Daytona, we didn't have a pallet wrapper, and you should have saw them like, how are we gonna wrap these pallets? I'm like, the same way we did for 14 years. Like, what are you talking about?
You walk around.
Walk around them, you know? Everybody was like, you know, like, get us a pallet wrapper. Yeah, like, it's little stuff like this that, you know, goes a long way, though. The team loves it.
So you're like, all right, let's get a pallet wrapper.
Yeah, get a pallet
now
wrapper.
what?
Yeah, get a pallet wrapper.
You got those on Alibaba or?
Yeah, I don't know. No, there's a company that we buy them from, but, you know, this is part of the ocean. This is inbound and outbound, and this thing just changes and fluctuates and moves. You know, one of the most comical things that we hear clients say all the time is, "Did my boxes arrive?" And we're like, if you send us something, it's very hard for us to figure out when. But we get thousands of boxes every single day.
Yeah.
So the more that we control, the more that we have the tracking, the more that we're controlling the ordering and bringing in product ahead of time, speeds everything up. Because otherwise we're sifting through thousands and thousands of boxes. I mean, all this stuff came in today. This is, and what time is it? Like
It's
11?
Like 11:15?
We haven't even taken all the shipments. This is just what's come in for the day.
So are you counting at this scale?
Yeah, I mean, we prefer to bring everything in first. So that's why we work on programs. You know, like if we know that we're going to be ordering these garments, or we have direct trucks moving back and forth all over the place, if we're handling that, then we know when they're coming, we can get them in swiftly, count, and get stuff on press. It's the unknown that can kill us.
So you're counting all of this?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's 22 people in receiving. We can pan over there if you'd like.
Holy cow. Oh, wait, so by direct trucking, yeah, your logo's on the truck.
Oh yeah, we have our own trucks.
That's for delivery?
Yep, pickup and delivery.
Picking up from, SNS or whoever?
Yeah, whoever. So Mariana and her receiving team, that's all they're doing, again, on all shifts. You know, there's never somebody not manning the receiving department. But putting everything where it's gotta go, stickering everything so we know where it's at, putting it in a bin in a location, and then most importantly, watching the schedule. And when this job goes up on the schedule, they get a cue, pull it, yank it, press, see you later.
Holy cow.
Sounds easy, isn't it?
Okay, what was the decision to buy your own trucks?
Yeah.
And how many? Like, what does that look like?
Yeah, I mean, I think controlling things is what we're best at. You know, like when we're in control, we can make magic. We can make anything happen. And so logistics was the same way. We've got 3 trucks right now, 2 here, 1 in Daytona, and we're going to continue to increase that. It's just
the drivers too? Do
yeah,
you like
and
lease
the drivers.
a driver? How does it?
Yeah, it's just purely on control. You know, like I don't ever think that we can man all logistics on our own. We use LTLs and everything, you know, especially if they're going very far. You know, if they're going to the middle of the country or so forth, or going up to New York, we may not use our own trucks, but just having the control on it, being able to move things when we want, and most importantly to us is that, you know, the product gets there for the show. And if it's in someone else's hands, we feel uneasy. If it's in our hands, you know, we'll kill ourselves before it doesn't happen.
Can you charge for delivery as well?
Yeah.
And then that's another revenue source?
Exactly.
Got it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. And we would try to be very competitive since we're handling everything across the board.
Yeah.
You know, we try to set those rates very, very reasonable so that, you know, it's all one single flow for them. They don't have to go here and there and, you know, like all over the place. Try to make finance as simple as possible.
That's an easy math equation though, right? It's like, all right, look, it costs this to an LTL.
Yep.
We could just do it in-house. Here's our margin.
Yep.
Let's invest in a couple trucks.
Yep. And we're guaranteed it'll be there. You know, rather than it's on the, I hope it gets there.
Right.
You know, at the end of the day.
You miss the concert.
I'll go get it. You know,
yeah,
I'll pull up. Something happens to the truck, I'll jump in my car and go get it, you know, rather than miss.
You had to ever hop in the truck and drive
Many
somewhere?
times.
Really?
Trucks, planes.
Get the boys and...
Trucks, planes, you name it, man. All kinds of stuff we've had to do.
Holy cow. All right.
You made a path for us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Yeah, this place is a maze. It just is nonstop. And we're back. Oh, golf balls. Nice.
You can show the golf balls. Italian golf balls.
What does every Italian need? Custom golf balls.
That is super cool. All right, so people can find you guys at Culture Studio.
Yeah.
Culturestudio.net.
Culturestudio.net. You know, we're starting to produce more and more content. So if they want to follow us on YouTube, you know, we have a little podcast that we've been putting out some consistent stuff on Apple Podcasts called Merch Culture. It's, you know, just specifically for people that are merchandise companies that run tours, make brands. You know, we talk, you know, a lot about like how to build a proper e-commerce store. You know, how to then, you know, leverage different types of designing or different types of decoration, and try to be very focused on those who are reselling our products. So yeah, please check it out.
Super cool. Thanks so much, Rich and the team. Culture Studio, we appreciate you. Thank you guys for listening. Print Hustlers, we'll see you on the next shop tour. Bye.